I understand. If you need to talk about anything, you have my ear. I also have a bit more experience with romance than you, so don't be afraid to ask for advice.
Ash sat thoroughly as she thought. Ash sat thor. Oh God, fuck. Ash sat thoughtfully as she and Elfnod watched the melee.
Okay then. Do you think I should stop pursuing Prude?
Elfnod turned back from the howling Belinda, who had resorted to flicking curses at Hektor.
I assume you've already talked to her about it, yeah?
Ash nodded.
And what did she say?
She said she wasn't.
She couldn't finish the sentence. Elfnod only nodded.
Then yes. That road only has sadness. If you change her mind, you will find one day that she is lying to herself. If you push too hard, she may push back and push you away. Be happy with friendship. Try to move on. Find someone else. Be they boy or girl.
Elfnod turned back to her and smiled. Yes, Elfnod, thank you for this. She needs this because, in the early time. Other time, she's like, I think I should pursue her. I shouldn't pursue her. I'm gonna apologize. I apologize because I'm her bestie. You know what comes first? Best friends. Fuck out of here.
Just don't pick me. I ain't the type to rob cradles.
Elfnod laughed and Ash found herself joining it. She thought about it. Oh, I wish I could tell him that.
Good.
Belinda was standing in shock, a tendril of shadows leaking out from her chest.
Oh, light and shadows, heck. Were you trying to enrage her until she got the spell?
Not really, but I figured that if I just kept explaining it in different ways, eventually something would stick.
Belinda's face was a mask of shock. She looked younger than ever, a child with wide-eyed.
Can you teach me more?
Right now, I'd like to take a break to eat something.
But we just started!
Yes, and using that much energy quickly tires me. We can start again after eating.
Oh, jeez, heck. Do you have two stomachs or something?
A chill ran down Ash's spine, goddess that kept happening.
No, of course not. Magic is energy intensive, though.
Yeah, but you eat like a horse.
But he doesn't like horses. Come on.
No, I assure you, I eat a highly balanced diet, including many diverse foods and dairy products.
Let's just go get you fed.
Wonderful idea.
We may as well follow them.
No, I have to go look into something. Could you tell them I just had something occur to me and I needed some time with my research?
Of course.
Still watching as Prude and Hektor walked towards the kitchen, Ash retreated away towards the library. She prayed she found something to ease her fears. While it may seem unlikely, gray mages are capable of performing the parry ritual again, and in fact do so. In an autopsy of a particularly powerful gray mage that had been ravaging the city of Treeport, 4 complete sets of organs were presented, suggesting that gray mages will pair and cannibalize each other. Ash skipped a few pages that went into detail about the anatomy. Little is known about how the altered anatomy affects the daily life of a gray mage, as none have ever been captured alive, or been respectfully so been brought into a mutual agreement, so you don't have to capture them. Some mages suggest that this may trigger increased metabolism as well as increased physical ability without even tapping into the powers available to a mage capable of reaching in both pools. Is Hektor a gray mage? and took the eyes. The anatomy may also contribute to the Grey Mage's apparently ability to operate with little sleep. Ash closed the book. It was the third book she had read of the limited library containing studies into Grey Mages. She wished she had found something to convince her and her fears regarding the Hector were but that fears. Unfortunately, she found nothing to comfort her.
That's some pretty heavy reading.
Ash snapped to his attention, clapping the book shut as her eyes met with Belinda.
What are you doing here?
I noticed you weren't going with the others. I wasn't hungry, so I followed you.
And you've been staring at me reading?
You haven't been here that long.
Belinda's eyes fell upon the books and returned to Ash.
You don't think Hector's a Grey Mage, do you? I mean, I know you don't like him. I know I certainly don't. But that doesn't mean he's actually evil, you know?
I'ma keep things to myself. I'ma say no, because this bitch ain't that one no shit.
No.
I mean, the heads have the Rod of Finding. It clearly marks pools of power inside of people. They would immediately be able to identify if someone had two pools inside them.
But you don't question his appetite. His no little to no sleep. His, oh, I put extra power. Him being almost powerful as his heads. Him, he could probably find some shit. Fuck out of here. I'm gonna throw this shit at her. No!
And weren't they out scouting with Hector just the other day?
Ash felt a great weight slide off her shoulder. She had forgotten about the rod, about the trip. She had been so concerned with the oddities that existed in Hector that she had to realize how impossible her fears were. But yet he has those symptoms.
Thank you.
No worries. I figured I should tell you. I mean, I owed him for the ritual thing. Anyway, I'm going to leave you to clean up your books. I'm heading back to the garden for more training.
With that, Belinda left. Belinda, go sit down. Girl, this boy did something to the pool, and you're like, everyone's like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. No, it's not okay. With a sigh, Ash reopened the book and began to read once more, starting from the section with a detailed description of anatomy. Hector was right. Studying was just what she needed to relax.
So, did you figure out who she was?
I think so.
For now, we have to speak
Only at night, when she's sleeping. Do you have any information on this thing on my hand?
No, and she's not asleep. Hello there, girlie. Squirreling.
The sounds in her head were gone. Ash pushed herself upright off of the pillow of the tome. That would make this the second time her hearing those voices. And how does this girl or guy knows that I'm not asleep? She couldn't decide whether or not hearing the voices proved them real or her mad. Had they been talking about the mark? The voices had sounded different this time, more clear. Still, they hadn't sounded right. One had sounded at once both singular and a chorus. Shivers found her in the warm library. If what they discussed was indeed a mark, then one of those voices was her pair.
Good, you're awake. Prudence was worried about you when you didn't return.
There are certain curses far more dire and foul than light and shadow, or goddess. Ash quickly recited all that she could remember in a rapid session as she leaped to her feet.
Studying the Grey Mages.
His face was crestfallen.
I am sorry I told you about my theory.
Oh? Why?
Ash asked the question with a little more enthusiasm than it required, her heart still pounding from Hector's sudden appearance.
Prudence informed me that the idea of being paired to a Grey Mage had frightened you. Admittedly, rightfully so.
Hector paused. His face became a mask of concentration as he appeared to disappear into deep thought.
Your fears are unfounded. A Grey Mage would have to be very nice to be paired with you, because you are a very nice person. Unless you are secretly a sociopath.
Hector, stop talking about yourself. Go sit down somewhere. No.
I speculate there may be perhaps one or maybe two gray mages with any reason to be such besides being, well, evil. But such gray mages would be very, very rare, and it is unlikely you would ever meet one. I mean truly extraordinarily rare. Believe me, I've thought about it. A lot.
What did you do, Hector? What did you do?
I get it.
The point I am trying to make is that I made my original theory when I was grasping at straws. As ridiculous as it sounds, you are far more likely paired to someone living high atop a flying island, and they probably have no idea what the phoenix mark on their hand is about.
The word struck a chord within Ash.
I think you're at least half right there.
She paused for a dramatic effect.
I heard voices again.
Hec's eyes grew large and his lip narrow, his face flushing. His face.
Light and shadows. I need to talk to Elfnod more. I need to learn about this witch magic.
Do you think it's a witch?
Possibly. Just think. Being paired to something other than a paladin. If that is possible, would trios be possible? A witch, a paladin, and a necromancer. And he mentioned wizards. Are they a type of witch? Or could we have squads? Oh, just imagine it. 4 people.
You know what, Hector? Hector...
Of course, if we ever find that to be the case, we'll have to keep this secret from the cult of Grey Mages.
Yeah, that's not something I wanted to think about. Yeesh.
Sorry.
So how are we going to get to a flying island?
Hector's enthusiasm dampened with a visible tick of his eye.
Ah, yes, well, I haven't gotten that sorted yet. The first thing I plan to do is determine the range the ritual is capable of. From there...
Hector shrugged.
Now, about the voices, what did they say?
Ash recited the conversation as best as she could.
I think your pair's a boy. Sorry.
Sorry for what?
Because you like girls.
I'm surprised you picked up on that.
The sarcasm dripped from her voice.
I am more perceptive than people give me credit for, which isn't actually that hard, as I don't think I am ever given any credit.
Anyway, I don't really know what I want.
Ash cocked her head for a moment.
No, I lied. I still want to be with Prude.
Me too.
But no, you're going to be with Prude, honey. She likes you. Ash's eyes grew wide. A knot of anger boiled in her stomach.
I like her. I didn't really know who I would be paired with, or even if I would.
Hector shrugged with more words, wrestling between his tongue and his head, trying to find the way what to say. Say it. Say it, Hector. I'll kill you.
I like her.
Ash sighed.
You and me both.
The two sat in the dark of the library, silent until the candles began to burn low.
I'm going to bed.
I should probably do the same.
Hector began to turn when suddenly Ash was before him, dangerously close.
What's the...
Ash leaned into pressing herself against his. The kiss of Rude had been soft, natural, and giving. This was as hard and awkward as Hector himself. Ash broke away and stared at Hector. The man looked broken.
What?
Was all he could imagine.
Thanks. I just wanted to see something, and I'm not friends with many boys.
Oh, Yes, yes. An experiment. Yes. Completely understandable. Yes.
Hector blushed so red that there was actually color to his pale face.
Good night, Hector.
Yes. Good night. Yes. Yes.
Ash left. I can't even do this right. The next day, Ash woke up early. She donned the only pair of pants she owned and a dress short enough to mistake for a shirt. Why did she own a dress like that anyway? Prue likely gave it to her ages ago. Heading out the dorm, she marched down the mountain stairs and towards the paladin's barricades. Not. God, I can't stop smiling after that happened. Alright, I got this. Not so crossed her path as she made her trek. Dion!